close your eyes.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Protect and Persevere. A while back I put out a story about kind of, is your kit ready to go? And I've been kind of working on a, some might call it like an active response bag. Others might call it their Minuteman bag, whatever. Honestly, I kind of look at this as just kind of my ready to go home defense, or more like community defense and homestead defense. Not, you know, if someone breaks into my house middle of the night, this is not what I'm grabbing to defend a robber or something like that. This is more larger scale, like I have time to assess the situation, and maybe it's not even directly just my house or my land, the homestead, the farm, whatever you want to call it. This is a very much bigger picture. Something is going down in the general vicinity. Maybe it's at my neighbor's house, my neighbor's property. Maybe it's, you know, family nearby. Just things are getting weird, and I need a bag that's ready to go with my gear. And I'm also a big proponent of, if you can't transport your gear, then is your gear really practical? Or is it even really, I would even say, yeah, just if you can't, I think you should be able to transport your gear. Maybe not like ready to go in a bag. I mean, it's ideal, but at least have the capability of transferring it. Because what's the point of having gear if, when the time someone calls upon you for help, you can't get there with that? Then what's the point of having it? So I'm going to kind of take all this out, and then I'll probably put it on afterwards and talk about it. But yeah, here we go. So as I'm getting into this bag, I want to say this is not a do-it-all kit for everybody. This is just specifically for me in this specific whatever application of kind of rural setting. Yeah, there is some closer distances, whatever. Mainly this is just like a rural, like I said, homestead / farm defense. And yeah, so first thing is, I have armor in this kit, and a lot of times during the day I'm just wearing like a button-up shirt, and while you can wear armor under or over a button-up shirt, it's not that comfortable, especially in the really hot months. So I have this really nice combat shirt. Like I said, it's not super necessary, especially if you have some type of like polyester like athletic t-shirt. That's totally fine too. This does give me some arm protection, maybe a little bit of camouflage, but a lot of that, you know, is movement and stuff like that. Alright, so the next thing is my helmet. This is just, I've already done a video on it. It's just a Team Wendy bump helmet. I've added some spray paint to it. It's a little bit darker green than I would like to, but I mean, it matches some of the trees, I guess. Main thing is it gives me ear pro that's already on my helmet. It gives me like bump protection. I wish it was, I got a ballistic, but it's just not in the cards for me right now. But it will give me some protection, especially if I'm in a moving vehicle or whatnot and I take a hard fall. Maybe I, you know, whatever. Also, it's mainly just for my night vision. So, especially nighttime security, it's a pretty big deal because bad things usually happen at night. So I have ear pro and a way to use nods. So, yeah, there's that. Alright, so, and this is not necessarily what I would put on first, it's just how I have it organized in the pack. I'll get into this a little bit later. So I actually totally forgot to talk about it. That little pouch, I keep some eye pro and a thermal binocular I've actually been messing with. But yeah, definitely eye pro is a big thing to add to whatever kit you're using at all times. So, my main carrier. So, I've done a review on this before, but I've changed it pretty significantly. So, I'll probably talk about that later. But yeah, just general purpose plate carrier. I can make it slick, but this is kind of a more overt setup. But yeah, so I'll talk about that after. Knee pads. Unless you have those really fancy cries, or hopefully, you know, not, you know, the knockoff cries that'll probably rip on you. being able to, you know, take a knee and not destroy your kneecaps on rocks and stuff like that is pretty nice. And so this is kind of the thing I've really been spending a lot of time working on, and that is my kind of, I'm not going to call it a war belt because it's not necessarily the belt itself, because I literally have it tied to my pants. And this is kind of the most interesting, unique part of this compared to other people's kit. I have a dedicated like belt by Segura Gear, and I'll probably talk about that when I put it on, but it's not a detachable like battle belt or one that you wear over it. It's literally direct threaded into my pair of pants. It has its pros and cons, but I'm gonna put all this on and then I'll talk about it.
I lied.
Alright, so I kind of lied. I figured out after putting all this on that it'd probably be easier to talk about it when it's not on me. It's pretty ironic. But yeah, so I'm going to start bottom to top with the belt kit. Or my belt line, I guess. It's not belt kit, that's retarded. First off, I already mentioned the knee pads. I guess I'll go ahead and talk about my philosophy with this kind of belt. There's usually 3 different types of belt, war belt systems. There's the kind of older throw over you diaper style, like war belt, where you literally just clip it on over you, usually with a cobra buckle or something. You have more of the modern 2-piece belts where you have like a Velcro inner belt, and then you hook and loop a secondary belt that actually has your crap on it over that. And then there's kind of my way of doing it, which was not my way. I saw there's plenty of dudes that do this, but you basically just get a really heavy duty belt and you tie that into your pants and everything is directly threaded onto you. So, and there's pros and cons to all of that. I've messed around with all of them except for a 2-piece. I've thought about getting one, but basically the pros of this system is that everything's all ready to go and it's all pretty slimline. All those other options, the 2-piece and the war belt, they're usually a lot thicker, and especially in hot weather it gets a little bit hot, and this one's pretty, there's not that much gap between you and it and material. It's pretty much all right there. Downsides, the really big downside is it's very inconvenient to change pants or whatever. Like if this was a Minuteman type thing, it'd be kind of, it wouldn't be that good because you would legit have to take off the pants you're wearing to put these on. So, and like, I don't know, your wallet or whatever you'd have to put in these pockets. I already have some stuff in these pockets. But yeah, there's pros and cons. But for now, I am running the Segura Gear, or however you pronounce it, emissary belt. It's the original one. So it's just like this heavy duty scuba webbing. Pretty sure that Grantham guy, he designed it or whatever. Honestly, the main thing is it's cheaper than most of the other belts out there, unless the Chinese knockoffs or whatever. But this is 100% made in the USA. It's good crap. It'll probably last forever. And even if I do upgrade in the future to a 2-piece, I'm still probably going to wear this in one of my pairs of pants. And it does double as an EDC belt. But starting off, I have, I guess, a pair of these pig gloves. These are honestly my favorite gloves. They're not that bomb proof, like they'll eventually fall apart on you, but they're the most they have the most dexterity of all the gloves. I actually use a handgun and a rifle with pretty well. This is a Glock 19. It's a Gucci'd out one, but yeah, and that's in a T-Rex Arms Ragnarok. It's on a Safariland UBL, and it's got the thigh strap from T-Rex Arms. I actually put a little bit of padding right here just because since this is a 1-piece belt, it does kind of rub a little bit. And then I guess I'll go to the left. I have T-Rex Arms mag carrier, and I have one of the extended Glock mags, and I'd probably put that in my gun to begin with, just so I could have it, you know, pretty topped off, and then I'll just put my secondary in it, because it is kind of hard to index a AR mag with this big extended one. Next to that is a S-Stack Kiwi, just one of them. And then I have this kind of my do-it-all general purpose pouch. It can pretty much carry whatever I think I might need a plus up on. So I can carry another AR mag in here. Honestly, I can fit 2, but that'd be a little bit heavy. I can fit a water bottle pouch, and that's usually what I do for training. radio, freaking whatever, smoke grenade. It can pretty much hold anything else I need to plus up on. Turn the belt over. I have this kind of utility pouch that I carry some pain meds, chapstick, some extra ear pro, some kind of survival water filtration stuff, a lighter, and then I have this source refill adapter thing that I'll get into. But yeah, some stuff that I could fit in my pockets, but it's just a lot easier to carry in my this little utility pouch. I also have a little Leatherman in here, which I might throw in just my pants pocket. But like I said, it's in case I need to throw something else in there, or I need to access it, because that's one thing about belts is you can't really access what's in your two front pockets while your gun belt is on. And then I also have some glow sticks in here. Then next to that, I have a pair of shears in an Eagle pistol pouch. I guess I'll go ahead and go into the med kit. This is the T-Rex Arms and Coyote Solutions med pouch or whatever. Just a single IFAK in there, and then I have a cat tourniquet on the bottom. This is a really cool med pouch. The only thing is I can't really find a way how to put shears with this or ARS needle, so I had to make do and put my shears right here beside it. And then I already talked about my holster. And then I'm always been a big proponent of using cargo pockets to hold crap and not just being there to look cool. I don't like thousands of giant pockets, but I always like to carry some form of sustenance and calories and sugar, glucose, whatever on me. So I have some Pedialyte and a couple of these emergency bars. Because like I said, this is more of a like Homestead defense thing. So I might be out there for a while. Whether it's just security, I'll put that on later. Whether it's security patrol, me just standing there static, if I have to drop my backpack or whatever, I still got some grow on me. Also, caffeine would be a good thing to add in that. And then in this one, I just have my face mask and whatever else I need to throw in there. Alright, so I'm going to shove this out of the way. Alright. So going in to armor. I've done a review on this in the past of the initial plate carrier. This is an HRT A-Track. It's it's a less expensive one that's on there. It doesn't have the fancy zipper pouches and stuff. And I just have their standard 3-mag shingle on there. However, I have done some modifications to this. So the first thing I did is I really did not like the original cummerbund or any of their cummerbunds, to be honest. They all were kind of trash in my opinion. So the first thing I did was I actually looked up into defensive mechanisms, and they make some really good stuff. And I actually took their elastic cummerbund and I put it on in the back. I just velcroed and shoe glued it in there. And so that way I have a better cummerbund. I really like these elastic cummerbunds. They snug the carrier to your body. Because that, in my opinion, is actually one of the ways you can actually make a plate carrier more comfortable, is making it more secure to your body, cummerbund wise. And the cool thing is it has these, I think it's I don't know if it's a tactic buckle or the rock buckle, but it's the one that's better than the other one. It's kind of funny. I'll do a ton of research onto what's a better thing or whatever, but the moment I buy it and I put it on and install it, I immediately forget about it. So dude will be like, hey, what's that specific thing you have? And I'll be like, I totally don't remember. But these are super cool. It allows you to take it off and on without having to mess with the placard. And this will last longer than Velcro will, because eventually Velcro will rip. So yeah, really good, nice upgrade. I kind of wish I would have done their Molly one with elastic, but that was a little more expensive and I didn't think about it at the time. But it is what it is. The next thing I did is I added these. I think this one's a Warrior Poet Society, and then this one might be a defensive mechanisms as well. But these are two like sidekick pouches or whatever. I have a 4th mag, and this one just because I wanted to plus up on magazines, because I only have 3, and I have 1 on my belt line, 1 to 2 on my belt line, and then so now I have 4. So 4 plus 2 or 4 plus 1, that's 5 or 6 mags plus 1 in the gun. Yeah, so I wanted more ammo. And then I added a radio, my Baofeng. I know it's not the best radio out there, but I have comms right there. Hooked up to this push top. I've already talked about that. And then I also invested in a knife. Now I've always actually had this knife. It's actually just an M&P knockoff of the Tor knives, Serpent. And the knife itself is pretty cool. The only thing is the sheath that comes with is trash. So I actually had a dude make me a custom Kydex one. And this is, it's more utility than it is like defensive. But obviously it does serve that role that if someone got on top of me or whatever, or if I need to break glass, it's right there, easy access. But going to the back, I actually have a Source Tactical, whatever their hydration pouch is called, with their 3-liter Camelback in there, or hydration pouch. I really like this. It's pretty slick on there, especially when I'm not using it, so I can still run a backpack on top of this if I need to. And if I'm not running a backpack, it's still pretty low profile when I fill it up with water. And yeah, during the summertime especially, having water is nice. Obviously in the winter, it's not that good of a solution, but yeah, really like this hydration pouch. Could also be used for other things. So that is my carrier. And honestly, that kind of sums up the all-around Homestead defense. Obviously, yeah, you could talk about, you know, what rifle and stuff you'd use, but that's a whole nother video. I just kind of wanted to show y'all my in-depth kit. Also, I forgot to mention I have a secondary cat tourniquet right there. But yeah, that should be it. So, like I said, this is more of a homestead slash farm slash community defense loadout. This is something that, whether my neighbor gives me a call, whether I think something's going on and I just want to throw this, you know, in the back of the truck or in a car, just in case things get weird. But this is a armored kind of general loadout for a bigger picture type event. Like I said, this is not for, you know, a bump in the night. This is for something's getting weird in my general location, and I just want to be very as prepared as much as possible. Some other things I wanted to note is that I'd probably run an assault pack with this, or my day bag, because even though I have a hydration carrier on there, if I'm like, let's say, showing up to something, and I might not have it all already filled all the way with water. So obviously, my night vision, some extra food.
I need that, dude. We're not out there long enough.
Hey, you're not gonna need that either. We're back before dark. You might as well take dope and beer instead.
What?
Ammo, dude. Take ammo.
Not bad.
Medical, rain gear, whatever. I'd probably take either an assault pack or my everyday bag, and I can throw it on over this, no problem. If things got really weird, I can run a large Alice over this. It's not super comfortable, but the frame actually makes it work. And like I said, this is not I'm not saying everyone has to have gear like this. It's just the current gear that I have, and for all I know, it might change in the future. But for now, this is what works for me, and I hope this helps you, I guess, get your mind thought process going on what maybe your kit is. Is it ready to go? What are some scenarios you might need it? And yeah, I hope y'all like this. Stay safe, everyone, and God bless.